Hello, everybody, and welcome back to another episode of Fluently Forward. Today, we are talking about the hottest couple on everybody's tongue. Not my Freudian slip coming out. Lips, right? The hottest couple on everyone's lips. I don't know. Okay, whatever. We're talking about Sabrina Carpenter and Barry Keoghan. And there's chemistry between them, which is probably why I said tongue, okay? And we are talking about them because he recently appeared in Sabrina Carpenter's latest music video, Please, Please, Please. And in it, it's not as good as Me Espresso, but that's because literally nothing. Jesus could whisper in my ear and I would be like, that's nice, but could we put on Espresso by Sabrina Carpenter? And the song is kind of, people are saying, it's giving Lana Del Rey. People are also saying they look cute in the music video. People are also saying, now why did she put him in the music video? Because A, that's so dangerous to do when you're a pop star. What happens when you break up? And then also B, the lyrics are all about like, hi, you're a walking red flag. Please don't embarrass me. Like, please keep it together. And then he's in the video, shooting up the place, being a bad boy, in and out of jail, etc. And she's looking cute and applying lip gloss. I like the music video. I personally like that he's in it. And I understand that if you're a pop star, you're probably like, oh my God, we're going to break up. But like, the internet already knows that you've dated. There's already, even if you're not like pictured together, there's already people listicles of your relationship timeline and like Reddit threads. So you might as well lean in, put him in the music video, give the people what they want. And I think a lot of people are getting excited by this relationship. We're going to be talking all about it, but they're just kind of saying, pop stars are back. It feels like early 2000s. We're getting celebrity relationships. We're getting little peeks at it. Like, give the people what they want. And I feel like, Beyonce like never does anything in public anymore. Taylor Swift, whatever, she like goes back and forth between hiding in the woods with one British boyfriend and then saying that she is confessing her love for a different British boyfriend. It's either too much or too little with her, you know what I mean? But I think with Sabrina Carpenter, people are like, ooh, we're getting little pictures of you. You're covering parts of your face. And why do they do that? They're always like covering their mouth. And they have, well, I don't know about Barry, but Sabrina Carpenter, I wouldn't cover any of the real estate if I was her. Do you know what I mean? Anyway, but they're taking cute pictures together. They're a little bit in public, but not so much so that you're like upset about it. And I just like that he's in the music video. I think more people should do that. I personally still remember when the Jonas Brothers did Burning Up. And you know what I'm going to say when Nick Jonas sings Red Dress and then Selena Gomez is there in her red dress because they were dating. Don't even get me started. Like, God, I remember that time. Anyway, a lot of people are saying about Sabrina and Barry, are they PR? They're a PR couple. It seems like he was picked out of a hat to be with her and their teams probably set the whole thing up. I have some insider tea from a couple different sources that we're going to get into. But let me say this. I do believe that they are a PR couple. I don't think that they're fake. Like, I just feel like people on TikTok have bastardized the phrase PR couple so much that they're like, PR means fake. Everything's fake. There's a contract and they're bearding and they're fake. And like, it's just like signing. I think things like that have happened before. For example, before it was Sabrina and Barry Keoghan, do you remember when Sabrina Carpenter stepped out with Shawn Mendes and everybody was like, please, how dumb do you think we are? Like, that was basically the general consensus. Now look, before you even think that I'm thinking it, I don't think Shawn Mendes is gay. I think he's bi, right? Anyway, but that was something that really felt like a PR pairing. And this one kind of did too, but I love it. Like, they are the perfect amount of fame for each other. She is like Barry Keoghan, he might be the lead in Saltburn, but he's not going to be the lead in a Marvels movie. But he was in a Marvels movie, the movie Eternals, which nobody watched except me. I watched it on a plane, and that was the perfect location for it. They're just like, their stars match each other. And when I had Perez Hilton on the podcast a couple years ago, it's a public episode if you want to go check it out, he was basically saying he doesn't think this concept of like PR fake relationships exists. He thinks that celebrities are always dating each other, but it's nice because the aspect of the PR relationship would be like two B-list stars make an A-list star. Two C-list stars together make a B-list star. I think of like Rita Ora and that guy that she's dating. I think of like Ian Somerhalder and Nikki Reed. Like these are couples that gain more power by being together. And if they were single, people might kind of forget about them. I think of Shaun White and Nina Dobrev. Do you get where I'm going with this? It just, I'm not saying it's fake. It just builds on top of each other. You're stronger together than you are apart. That's probably a proverb somewhere in the world. Anyway, what do you think of them? I am curious. We're going to get to everyone's thoughts. I had the floozies over on Instagram. I was asking you guys, like, what are your thoughts on the two of them? We're going to cover that at the end of the episode. You guys are funny. I was like really laughing about, wait, hold on. I have to read, just as a spoiler, this one really made me LOL. Somebody said about Barry Keoghan, people tell me that I look like him. So now I think that I could pull Sabrina Carpenter, parentheses, I'm a girl, BTW. You probably could. Okay, let's see. What do you think of them? Here's a question. Do you think that Barry Keoghan is hot? I do. And I know that the internet, like they try to put some sort of theory on everything. Like there has to be like a phrase. Don't even get me started. I did a TikTok video all about the phrase or the new trend, boyfriend blush. And it's these pictures of Prince William and Prince Harry when they were younger that are like going viral on the internet. And in the picture, they literally have rosacea. And everybody's like, boyfriend blush, that flush of when like a rugby player has just finished playing rugby before he goes back to the castle, how to emulate and try to get the boyfriend blush look. And I remember watching all these videos and I'm like, am I taking crazy pills? That's rosacea. I have it. I have the type of rosacea where sometimes at night, if I drink alcohol or like red wine, my entire nose turns bright red. And it's awful. And it like, or if you get embarrassed or whatever, like your whole like whatever, the face flushes. And I just find it so interesting that rosacea on a woman is like, cover it up. You have a flaw, fix yourself, buy concealer, buy this, buy a green tinted Dr. Jart cream that you then tap in with your fingers after warming it up. Like, don't even get me started. I've tried it all. But rosacea on a man, oh my God, it's boyfriend blush. It's amazing. It's perfect on him. If anything, women should be trying to have the look that the man has. And it's like, this is rosacea. Anyway, that's to say, when people talk about Barry Keoghan and how he looks, the internet is like trying to get this trend going of, I swear to God, like I'm going to get so fucking mad, of men who look like rodents. Okay, like I know I sound crazy, but if you're also online like I am, you've probably seen this. They're like, men who look like rats or rodents are so hot. And they have all of these images of like the two guys who are in the Challengers movie saying that they look like mice. And then they have Matty Healy and they say that he looks like, I think, the rat from Flushed Away or something. And then they have Barry Keoghan and they say that he looks like a rodent too. It makes me want to scream because like, the Haim sisters can't even exist without people being like, but are they hot enough to be attractive? Meanwhile, there's think pieces about how like, oh, this man looks like the type of thing that you call an exterminator for, and you better get your pussy wet over him. And it's just like, what? Like, I don't know. Years ago, we were like elevating the dad bod. We're like, ooh, you have like this dad bod, which the craziest thing of all time, and I know I'm going off track. I'll get back there soon. Why would you have a dad bod? A mom bod is what we should be talking about. And the reason why you have a mom bod is because you are a mother, so you just grew a child, expanded your stomach, rearranged all of your organs, your breasts, your ankles, everything is changing, even your brain chemically, and then you push that baby out in your vagina, and sometimes your asshole splits open, and then you deliver the placenta, and then you have to like do it, and then you have to, your nipples are cracked and like the milk, and then you have to do that. That is a mom bod, and you get that from being a mother. And that should be celebrated and found sexy. But instead, the man who the only thing he did to be a dad, technically, right? Of course, I'm just like saying, physically, was cum. 9 months ago, but everyone's like, oh my God, a dad bod's so sexy. Like, honestly, I could see red. So like years ago, it was like, oh, dad bods are so sexy. And now for men, rat faces are sexy. Oh my God, it's just like, sorry, I'm like going off on a tangent. Why am I pissed? It's like the morning. Anyway, that being said, I think Barry Keoghan's sexy. Dude, I'm a hypocrite. But you know what I will say? He is not sexy with glasses on, because at the beginning of Saltburn, I was like, who is this freak on campus? He looks dangerous. Like he's like school shooter type of vibes, you know? But then he took the glasses off and he went a little bit crazy in the movie, and he got hot. He's just got that like glint like about him. Like he's got like that, I was going to say that cock in his eye, but I don't think that's not a phrase, is it? Cock in his step? There's a cock in his pants, okay? And I don't know what type of phrase I'm trying to think of, but you know what I mean. He's got like a little mischievous thing about him. Do I think that it's PR? At the beginning I did. Now that I think that it's don't. Okay, should I just like tell you the tea that I've heard? It's long enough where like lawyers wouldn't, get past this point. I've heard from 3 different people who know stuff about him. I don't want to give anything away, but through someone that's close to him, they've heard different things about him. And what I've heard from 3 people now, so it's verified. This is the story, okay? Ignore People Magazine, listen to me. This is the story I heard from people. I heard that he was obsessed with Sabrina Carpenter, like for months and months and months, was like trying to meet her. They would attend different events and he would just be like staring at her almost in like a little bit of a creepy way at the events, but he wouldn't go up and talk to her. He would like ask other people like, ooh, like, do you think like you could introduce Sabrina to me? And they would be like, dude, just like go up and say hi. But for months he was just like eyeing her and like obsessed. Then we're going to get into the timeline, but I heard that they met before this. Their official timeline is September 2023. They both met when they attended the Givenchy runway show. I heard that it was at a Gucci show, but whatever. And apparently he was just pursuing her hardcore, and he is full on obsessed with this woman. Like I've heard that he's completely obsessed with Sabrina Carpenter. So if you've seen those clips of him like at the Eras tour or at Coachella, like watching her perform and like giggling and kicking his feet, when I saw that, I was like, oh my God, that's so cute. But then you always think, but is it PR? From what I've heard, it's not. He's just like really, really into her. So let's get into their quote unquote official timeline, right? Apparently, right, they met in September 2023, whatever. Then they were seen together for the first time early December 2023. They were photographed in LA's Brentwood neighborhood. They went out. I think you might remember she was in this like sleek black leather trench coat. It looked good. At the time, I also think people thought this was PR because this was kind of just after her and Shawn Mendes had stepped out, and everybody was like, please, we don't buy it. So then the next month, they go on this artsy date at an art gallery in January. Then the next month, in February, they make their first public appearance as a couple, and this is for W Magazine's Grammys after party. And we see like a cute picture of them together on the couch. And I just love that. I feel like that's what dating is all about. Like, take a picture with the person that you're dating. I mean, I would be a horrible celebrity because like I overshare constantly. If you're a member of the Patreon, I just had my boyfriend on for last week's episode on Patreon. So I'm not one of those people who's like, keep it quiet, keep it hidden. I'm like, come on, like put it out there. Everybody's curious, why not? Okay, so then like a week after that Grammys after party, he was seen leaving Sabrina's house in the morning. Got me talking nonsense. Okay, then they went on a date. Then in February, he was in Singapore for the Eras tour, and he was giving like Kris Jenner. He was giving Amy Poehler in Mean Girls. You know what I mean? She was performing. He was like taking videos, giggling, kicking his feet. And you know what's interesting? Like, of course, she did her nonsense outros. And some people, I think somebody said over on Instagram, their opinion of Sabrina, they were like, she gives me the vibe of a girl who thinks that it's like cool to curse or something. I kind of get what you're saying, but here's the thing. Like, I really like Sabrina Carpenter. I just think there's something so like, just like, people keep comparing her to Polly Pocket. And I just think there's something so like sweet and cute, but also feisty and spunky and fun. And I'm with you because I was kind of at the point where the first time I heard some of the nonsense outros, I was like, hell yeah, this is funny. But then it kept happening. And I was like, okay, how many times can you, rhyme something with like scrotum, at the end of the song? But then I saw an interview of her where they were asking her about all of the nonsense outros. And she was like, yeah, like I kind of feel like I have to keep doing it. And I know people are saying that it's cringe, but like it would be weird for me to stop doing it now. So I kind of have to keep doing it because like I've made it a thing. And I was like, oh my God, like, no, I feel her. And like now I feel bad that I ever thought that it was cringe because like, yeah, of course she has to do it. And it is fun. So that was my moment of being like, shame on you, Shannon. I really like Sabrina Carpenter. Okay, then they go to the Oscars after party together in March. They take a photo together inside of the venue. Then in April, he goes to support her at Coachella. Remember, he was wearing those like Burberry shorts and like a Burberry bandana tied around his face. I guess no, I feel like that's more for Burning Man with the dust, right? I guess maybe more to like protect his identity, even though like everybody knows who he is. I feel like also the height goes into that. And then the next day they had that double date with Taylor Swift and Travis Kelce, and everybody was making jokes. And it was so funny because Taylor and Travis are like 6 foot and they're both like 5 foot flat. So it was just like, Barbie and Ken next to Polly Pocket. And who does Polly Pocket date? If you were a millennial like me, did you also play the Polly Pocket online computer games? Because I remember I would decorate her bedroom. She was in a rock band. There was like a fashion machine game I would play. And I remember her theme song was Polly, playing in my band. It's so much fun. It's cool with my friends around me. There's nothing we can't do. Oh my God, she should sing that. Because she's Polly Pocket. Anyway, whatever. I love those games. All right. Then, big debut. They go to the Met Gala together on May 6th, 2024. And they pose together. She was in that kind of like Cinderella looking ball gown. And he, looked like, oh, can I clean your chimney, sir? He was in that like velvet suit. Oh my God. And I grabbed this from like a news article, and they said that he was in an espresso colored velvet suit. I mean, it was brown, so I guess technically they're right. But once again, if people are thinking that they're PR, which I hear that they're not, but, mutually beneficial, if you're dating her and she just came out with espresso, makes sense to wear something that's espresso colored, doesn't it? Doesn't it? Today's episode is brought to you by Vegamore. If you are looking to have visibly thicker, fuller, shinier, longer hair, all without harsh ingredients, you have to check out Vegamore. Their most popular product, you've probably heard of it before, it is the Grow Serum. And what's really nice about this is it's not one of those like hair serums where you have to wash your hair, then you put it in your hair, then you wait 20 minutes, then you go to the shower, then you rinse it out. You can just put it in your hair and go about your day, which I think is great because I like lazy girl beauty. Their brow serum, though, is personally what I want to talk to you about. I have been using it for about 2 months now. My brows are visibly thicker, and I feel like I've used other brow serums that just like didn't work, or some that even like made my eyebrow hairs fall out, but my brows are looking incredible. It's like this nice wand. I put it on in the morning. I put it on before bed. I am definitely noticing differences. So whether you want to take care of your hair's length, shine, thickness, or maybe you want to take care of your scalp, they've got great products for that as well. Give your hair the power of the little pink bottle with Vegamore. So for a limited time, Fluently Forward listeners get 20% off their first order by going to vegamore.com/fluently. And you can use code FLUENTLY at checkout. That is vegamor.com/fluently. Code FLUENTLY to save 20% on your first order. vegamor.com/fluently with code FLUENTLY. And now we are in June of 2024. He is in her Please, Please, Please music video. Now let's get to the question that is on everybody's lips because, well, not everyone's lips. The lips of the chronically online, the lips of the vitamin D deficient people, my lips, And that question is, what's going on with all of those rumors about him having had a baby with his like long-term high school sweetheart and then like ditching her when he became famous and then leaving her and the baby to date Sabrina Carpenter, kind of similar to the Ethan Slater story. If you don't know who Ethan Slater is, you might know of him as SpongeBob, Ariana Grande's new man. And then people are also saying similar to like Jeremy Allen White, similar to John Mulaney. What is with this theme of these men in Hollywood? Almost like even like a little bit of Chris Pratt, like the whole vibe of, oh my God, like I'm with someone for a long time. Then I get famous. Bye. I'm going to go trade up. Once again, I would be remiss if I didn't say Elon Musk's first wife, Justine Musk. She wrote this piece for either Variety or Vanity Fair. I think it was Vanity Fair. And the title was like something about being a starter wife. And it was how she was Elon Musk's first wife. They had a bunch of kids together. It's this fascinating article. It was all about how like the first time they like knew each other in college. And I remember this story. It just like shows so much of a light into who Elon Musk is. And she said that he kept like asking her out on a date and she was like, no. He's like, let's get ice cream. And she was like, I have to study. So she goes to the library to study. And like an hour into studying, she hears a cough behind her. So she turns around and he's standing there with 2 ice cream cones that are kind of like dripping in his hand. And he like brought them to her in the library. And the way she tells the story is so good because at first you're like, oh my God, it's so cute. But then you go back and look at everything and you're like, actually, he's a controlling piece of shit and he's like crazy. There's all this other stuff in the article about how on their wedding night, he whispered in her ear during, I think like their first dance, I am the alpha and you will treat me as such, which like she's stronger than me. I would have laughed so hard. I would have pissed my wedding dress. I like, please, like to say something like that is just like, so like, oh my God, like, what are you going to do? Howl at the moon next? Like, let's take it down a notch. My God. Anyway. And then she talks about how like he kept telling her like, dye your hair blonde, more blonde, more blonde, all of this devastating stuff about how they lost one of their babies to, I think SIDS, right? Sudden infant death syndrome or something. And she was obviously devastated. And he called her sadness manipulative. And that like she was like trying to like extend the grief and like get sympathy. And it's like, holy shit, like this man is he has also said that he is autistic. I do not think that if you are autistic, you like don't have fit. Like Elon Musk is the type of person where like he doesn't let people unionize. Like I just think he is a bad person overall. And I understand, right, that there's that idea of, okay, maybe I can't relate to feelings that you're feeling, or maybe it takes me a little bit longer, or maybe I don't look at your facial expression and like understand exactly what you're going through. But you should just read this article that his first starter wife put out because, look, I think everybody knows that Elon Musk is like a villain, but if you didn't, like this just gives, like, it's the villain origin story, basically. And then she says too that like after they broke up, he starts dating Tallulah Riley and she had brown hair when she started dating him, but then soon enough, platinum blonde hair. And then it's like all these weird things, like he has this fetish, this fascination for like girls with like blonde hair and like whatever. It's just interesting. Anyway, let me get back to the original point here. That is the idea though of a man getting richer, more famous, and saying bye-bye to the first girl and getting with someone who is like hotter, younger, blonder, more famous, etc. So I had been seeing all of these rumors about Barry Keoghan and I was like, I need to look into them and like see what the hell is going on, right? So let's look into it. So rumors were kind of swirling around in 2023, the summer, that him and his longtime girlfriend, I believe they were together for 3 years, Allison Sandro, broke up. He confirmed it in an article in January of 2024. And I think that confirmation is what confused a lot of people because obviously he was seen out with Sabrina in December. And then in January, he's like, yeah, I'm a single man. And it's like, okay, well, like, was there some overlap or like what happened? Now, I just want to say about his ex, Allison Sandro, she is so beautiful. She's a dental nurse and an orthodontic, whatever, like, you know what I mean, teeth therapist. And I just have to say, what is it with people in the dental industry being so good looking? Like when I was younger and we went to the family dentist, there was this one, each person, like literally each member of the family, from like me, the youngest, to like every single member of the family, we would go to the dentist and we would come back and everyone in the family would be like, did you get the guy or did you get the hot dentist? Because there was like a hot dentist. Like she was so beautiful that even when she was working on your teeth, you know, normally you keep your eyes closed. I would just stare and I would be like, oh my God, she's so beautiful. What is it? Like beautiful people go into the dental industry. Anyway, Allison, she looks like Sabrina Carpenter, but she also looks like a mix, in my opinion, between Sabrina Carpenter and Jodie Comer from Killing Eve, who plays Villanelle. If you know anything about me, like, this is a beautiful woman. Okay. So anyway, in GQ, that cover story that came out, he said about her, quote, she's done a great job and she's an incredible mother because yes, they had a son together named Brando in 2022. Now, other than that, he didn't share any additional information about the split, but of course we have insiders and then we're going to go to the internet to see what they said. So insiders, a source told The Sun, quote, they've grown apart over recent months and things have finally come to a head. They claimed that Barry's partying caused arguments. I have heard from sources, these three sources, that they were fighting like a fuck ton at the end. And like all of their friends were basically like begging them to break up. It doesn't seem like it was like Ethan Slater, he like abandoned her and like ran off. Like their relationship, it seems like, from what I've heard from people, it was coming to an end. It was toxic. It was not good. There was a lot of fighting at the end. And it seems like they broke up in the summer, which, you know, months would have gone by before he met Sabrina. Now, people on Reddit, on all of these different, like he has a subreddit, there's the Ireland subreddit because of course he's Irish, and people are spilling alleged, for satire use only, tea about him, and it is not fucking nice at all. So we're going to get a little bit into it. Okay, here we go. His ex, who he has a baby with, lived in Dundee, Scotland, and it is well known around here what he is like as a person. He is a manipulative, he's a nasty woman, an abusive person. He has serious addiction issues, and he was verbally and physically abusive on several occasions. He is a great actor, but he's a great actor, no doubt, but his life is an act also. Good luck to his new girl. She's in for a hell of a time. Honestly, folks, his acting isn't good enough to compensate for what a horrible bastard he is. Hopefully what goes around comes around for an arsehole like that. Ooh. Somebody continues. He is just a horrible human being. He could barely look after his Alsatian dog. I looked it up and I think that's a German Shepherd, let alone a child. So this whole doting dad thing is a fallacy. He would buy drugs from some serious people around here and then act like a gangster. I'm surprised he never got put in intensive care from some dealers. I'm pretty sure he drove his car without a license, also as he was banned. He even cheated on his partner, hence why she left. He was seen kicking the door of a pub on a coke binge, and his partner was driven home from a complete stranger because she was so shaken from the experience. I have no idea how his PR team has kept it all under wraps because plenty of people around this city know what he is like and his vile behavior. No doubt it will all come out eventually, and I look forward to seeing his fans defending him when it does. Holy God, like this person had a lot of, it was just ringing as true to me. You know, like you can't tell when someone's lying on the internet. I'm just delusional. It just seemed a little bit accurate to me. And then people said there were rumors that she wanted to end it because he was flirting around. Somebody else says, I commented on this thread about a year ago when I worked there, but I deleted it out of fear that the hotel would potentially find out. But hey, he's in the news again, so I thought I would share a story. Barry Keoghan stayed at this hotel that I used to work at around 2 years ago. He ordered alcohol every single morning and was generally a mess. He didn't tip at all. This was before he had his child, BTW. Someone else said, I've seen a lot of comments in the Ireland subreddit talking about him acting like a prick whilst drunk and allegedly hitting/harming his girlfriend. If you look for bad stories about Barry Keoghan, they are effing out there. It's kind of the main thing about him online. Now look, to even the load, I did find some positive stories about him, so we're going to share those. Somebody said, his child's grandma, the baby mama's mom, not his own mom, praised him in an article about a month ago and said that he told them that he was seeing Sabrina before he made it public. I'm assuming that she wouldn't be praising him in any way if he didn't take care of the kid. And then somebody else said too, he did visit his son and his ex-girlfriend on February 24th at a kids club when he was in London. And he played with them, and then they were spotted together at a dental clinic in Brando, from what I saw on Allison's stories. So, it sounds like he's not a deadbeat dad, but it sounds like he's a shitty person. Oh my God. So then a lot of these people online were like, well, it makes sense that he's abusing drugs and alcohol because he had a very, very rough life growing up. So I decided to look it up, and holy shit, they were not kidding. This is like, he has the type of life that honestly, like, you would read about this and think that that is like a, quote unquote, hard to watch movie that's like up for an Oscar nomination. So he was born in October 1992. He grew up in Dublin, Ireland. His mom struggled with drug addiction, and she died when he was 12. So then him and his brother Eric spent 7 years in foster care. They were in 13 foster homes before being raised by their grandmother, aunt, and older sister Gemma. So then when he was a child, he was in some school plays, but he was banned for like messing around and being like a bad kid. Then he said he got into film because he would sneak into the cinema with his friends, and then eventually he got banned from that cinema. Then he started studying acting at the Factory, a local Dublin drama school, and he remembers sometimes not even having like the 2 pounds to get to the bus to go to the Factory on time. So it just sounds like, so now I'm thinking too, like, I feel like typically his roles that he plays are very tortured, someone like, just like dark, going through it, you know what I mean? And it's that way even down to him playing like the bad boy in Sabrina's music video. So I feel like that's why it's like such a natural fit on him. Like, it is him. And I don't know if it's his face or if it's his vibe, but like if he was in a rom-com, I would watch the rom-com thinking the whole time it's going to be like that rom-com Fresh with Sebastian Stan and Daisy Edgar Jones, right? Or like, spoiler alert, but like he turns out to be like a cannibal. Like, I would not feel comfy watching that rom-com. I would be like, don't go home with him, girl. Like, he's going to tie you up in the basement. Like, something creepy is going to happen. Anyway, so then he started acting. There was this casting role in a street shop window for a film. He was in the film, then he was in an Irish soap opera. Then, of course, he got the bigger roles, Dunkirk, Chernobyl. He was in that movie Eternals, which like didn't do well, but it was part of the Marvel universe, so like whatever. And he's going to be in a Beatles biopic soon, playing Ringo Starr. Now, obviously, I wanted to then look at the other side of the coin, which is Sabrina Carpenter's childhood and early career, and it could not be more different. So she was born 1999. She's young. Oh my God. Anyway, 1999 in Pennsylvania. She is the niece of an actress, Nancy Cartwright. And do you know what she's famous for? Is doing the voice of Bart Simpson. I didn't even know that Bart Simpson was voiced by a woman. But yeah, that voice of Bart Simpson is her aunt. So she has 3 older sisters. She was homeschooled. At the age of 10, she started posting videos on YouTube of herself singing, covering different songs. And then her father built a recording studio for her so that way she could like get more into music. So their childhoods like could not have been more different. She then got her first acting role in a guest role for Law & Order SVU. And then, of course, she was cast in a Disney Channel series and got this like 5-album deal with like the Disney Hollywood Records. And yeah, just like very different early childhood, very different early career. And now they're together. So let's wrap things out with some of your thoughts over on Instagram that I asked you guys about. You guys had good thoughts about this. So I basically said, what are your thoughts on Sabrina Carpenter and Barry Keoghan? Everybody kept saying that they want to be their third. They were like, please, I'm the same height. Could I be their third? I'm with you. I would like to be a part of that throuple. I also would like to be a part of the Dave Franco and Allison Brie throuple. I know I say it in every podcast episode, but that's just because words are the first step to deeds. So if I keep saying it, maybe some fun stuff could happen. So let's see. Somebody said he's being borrowed from the prop department. It seems like he was paid for. A lot of people thought that it was PR. Somebody said Sabrina needed a counterpart to squat around with Taylor and solidify her relevance, but I like this pairing. Dude, I am with you. Like, I just think Sabrina Carpenter, like, Espresso is so hot. She was going to get so big, but being with Barry is helping her get to that next level. It's all about that celebrity pairing. It just does well. Somebody said, I don't believe in the relationship. She seems too cool and he seems like an incel. He does, doesn't he? He kind of does. Somebody says, I don't know, but celebrity is back. Pop stars are back. And I am with you. It just feels like we're getting a whole new era of pop stars. Like maybe it was because of COVID, but we were really lacking on, celebrities aren't, and this will be our episode next week, but like celebrities aren't going out and clubbing. They're not partying. They're not like out and about doing things that we can watch and observe. They're just literally at home and then posting an Instagram story being like, my new vinyl is out, go get it. I launched a, skincare brand, go get it. And I just miss celebrities being like, here's me, we're going to walk the red carpet together. Just like a little something, something. Somebody said Sabrina could have chemistry with a cup and he weirds me out. Somebody said, it's so funny that she saw Saltburn and then reached out. And I've seen a lot of people say that online, like, oh my God, she saw Saltburn. She like called him up and then started dating him. It's not what my sources say. My sources say that he was obsessively pursuing her for a long time. Kelly from Beyond the Blinds wrote in. She says, I hate looking at him and his freaky little hands. Somebody said, I feel like that they had the music video idea first and then the relationship idea second. It almost makes me think that their whole relationship is for PR. I could see that. Somebody said about the line in Espresso, I hear your ex don't do it for you. You mean the mother of his child? Weird flex, but okay. And yes, I am with you. I also thought that line was weird. And then I saw that she wrote the song Espresso, right? It's not espresso, it's espresso. It's that me espresso that she wrote it like months before she even met him. So, I get the sense Sabrina's a girl's girl. I just do, especially, look, like she was at the brunt of the whole Joshua Bassett, Olivia Rodrigo stuff. I really doubt that she would be one to be like, let's, hate train against a woman, right? That being said, if I were her, I would have swapped that line out for something else. We know she's good at rhyming. She does it, every time she sings nonsense. I would just swap it out for something else because like, especially when there's a child involved, I would just swap it out. That's how I feel too about Taylor Swift and the song I'm Gonna Get You Back. I stand with Olivia Rodrigo. Like, please. You could have gotten rid of one song. You put out like 31 songs and like a lot of them sounded similar. Sorry. Just come to my house and kill me. Honestly, like I'm so sick of the Swifties. Just come to my house and let's just like finally get it out of our system and we can just make physical contact and hit each other. Oh my God. Sorry. I'm like, the Swifties are just insane. Like you say that you don't like one song or the song sounds similar and they're like, so you hate women? So like you're actually like an evil piece of shit to women? Calm down. Oh my God. Let's just like connect physically finally. Anyway, but that being said, like you sued Olivia Rodrigo. Like look, maybe she didn't sue her, but the point of the matter is Deja Vu is out as a song. Taylor Swift and other people have money from that song. And then you have the audacity to put out a song called I'm Gonna Get You Back when Olivia has the song Get Him Back, where the mantra is exactly the same. It's the whole like, I hate you, but I want you back. I'm gonna smash your bike or take you home or whatever. And then Olivia Rodrigo was like, I'm going to key your car or do this. It's so similar down to the act of like, I'm going to hurt your mode of transportation or take you back to my residence. Like literally it's so similar. And Taylor Swift's allowed to do it. I'm so sorry. But if like, once again, I keep going off on rants in this episode. If Olivia Rodrigo put out if the situations were reversed and the timelines were reversed, people would not let Olivia Rodrigo hear the effing end of it. Like, Anyway, so that's to say, if I was Taylor, I would have taken that song off the album. It's like not even, in my opinion, that great of a song. And if I was Sabrina Carpenter, I would have just changed that line. Because, you know, you have to adapt based on what like is going on, you know, in the zeitgeist. Somebody said, you know that if Barry Keoghan was the mom, he would be ridiculed for not being with his child, and it seems like he never is. And that, I mean, we're back to the man bod rodent face conversation. The way that things are still so fucking different for women versus men, especially when it comes to parenthood, Like it's, and I'm not even a parent and it like boils my blood. Like I just find it crazy. Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. I mean, you see this all the time. Kanye West does something. Oh, what's he doing? What's he doing? Kim Kardashian is a little bit provocative. She's a mother. What is she doing? Who's taking care of the kids? Like it's just crazy. Somebody wrote in and said, there are so many stories of Barry Keoghan being a douche to waitstaff and getting belligerent drunk. I would agree with that. I've heard a lot of that. Somebody said, I wonder if he did the music video for a really small commission. And that's something I'm curious about too. Was he paid to be in the music video? Was he? I don't know. I'm curious how that works. Somebody said, Barry gives me mischievous imp vibes, but I feel like it's a height thing. Somebody else I think wrote in and said, like, I think that their PR teams match them because they're the same height. Wait, what is his height? Let me look it up real quick. Barry Keoghan height. Take your guesses. He's 5'8". I really don't think that that's that short. Oh my God, Jacob Elordi is 6'5". So that's why they look so crazy different. And for what it's worth, Sabrina Carpenter is 4'11". And then the last comment that a couple people said, I feel like they match each other's freak. Somebody gonna match my freak. Somebody gonna match my nasty. Okay. Well, thank you guys for hanging out with me. I'm sorry that I went on so many rants this episode, but I don't know. It's like a very hot day here in Denver. It's like, you know, it's not even, oh, well, now it's 12 o'clock. I went out this morning for a walk at 10 a.m. and it was like 85 degrees. I'm in a bad mood. I'm in a bad mood when it's that hot. So anyway, thank you for hanging out with me. If you want to go check out our Patreon episode that I did with my boyfriend Xander, we talked all about the UFO conference that, because I didn't sound deranged enough in this episode. We talked all about the UFO conference that we went to last week in Palm Springs. It was just, I mean, it's a UFO conference. So we covered all the sessions. They were talking about things like, the ancient Egyptians and how they were part of the Star Walker religion, different types of intelligence, like different types of animal intelligence. This incredible story about, there's a book called, I think, like The Heart Talks or something. People with organ transplants and like fecal transplants, how if you get someone's heart or kidney, you take on their personality characteristics. There was the story of one man who got a kidney transplant and it went really well. He didn't know who the kidney was from. But then he started craving Mexican food. He started listening to Latin music. He like went down to Central America for a bunch of vacations. He was just like really into it. And then he found out that the kidney was from a Mexican man. And then there was the story of a woman who was doing her at home fecal transplants. Like, don't even get me started. I'm so sorry that I said that. Parts of the story were pretty gross, but she was taking poop from her boyfriend and like swallowing it in capsules to try and fix her gut microbiome. And it helped, but then she started getting acne because her boyfriend had acne. So then she took her brother's poop. I swear to God, this is a true story. And she started taking it, you know, and then the acne went away, but she got depression and her brother had depression. So then she went back to the boyfriend's poop and just dealt with the acne. But just like all of these incredible stories, like there was just a lot of cool stuff we learned about in the conference. If you're into the woo-woo, I know some people are just here for pop culture, but I like everything weird and speculative. You can go check it out, patreon.com/fluentlyforward. That's it. We've also got merch, but I'm asking enough of you. But if you want to check it out, it's fluentlyforward.com. And you can see merch is there. fluentlyforward.com/merch if you want to check it out. Okay, thank you for hanging out with me. Let me know, what do you think of Sabrina and Barry? Do you find Barry hot? Is he rodent sexy? Do you find his ex-girlfriend hot? I think that she's hot. Let me know. I will see you guys next week for another episode of Fluently Forward. Bye, guys.